Almost finished for today, another 4 kilometers. It's going to be tough, but I'll make it. The 137 human beings that torched themselves for freedom in Tibet. That shows a lot of things about the situation in Tibet and about the Chinese government on many levels. First of all, the Tibetans. Shows how determined, how brave they are, and their willingness to sacrifice everything, to make the ultimate sacrifice, to let the world know that Tibetans and the Tibetan race will not survive if China is allowed to keep doing what they're doing. This oppression and this ongoing genocide is unacceptable. Someone has to step in and stop that. And we have the power to do that, we in the West. Because we're buying their stuff. We're actually using it. Sometimes to get back to Dachau, to the concentration camp, I have the feeling here the concentration camps are museums. But at the same time, we know they exist in China, the Lagai system. So it looks as if we've just outsourced the concentration camps to China. And these people who self-immolate in Tibet, if they don't die immediately meaning several minutes or up to 20 minutes, sometimes it takes for them to die. And I posted a video this morning. Look at that and search the internet for other videos. It's just amazing. They know what they're going to go through. But it also shows how evil the criminal Chinese government is, because they've taken steps. They've realized the self-immolations are not going to stop. So what they've done, they've taken their evilness up a couple of notches. They've given their troops and policemen tools to deal with self-immolations. They have like a lion tamer, a long pole with a semicircle on the end. That's to hold the person who is self-immolating, hold him on the ground, while others use fire extinguishers to put out the flames. Others use batons, not like the police we have used. They have batons, but they have like nails in them. So they're beating, they're holding the person down, beating him, shooting him. Everything you can do to these people, they're doing it. So those that even survive that and don't die, they're taken to military hospitals. And God, who would like to end up in a Chinese government's military hospital? Well, they're trained killers. I have one very close friend who spent 5 years in Drapchi, and they had tortured him to such an extent that his internal bleeding had led to a swollen stomach. His stomach was full of blood. So what did they do? They took him to a military hospital, and they operated on him without anesthetic. And he was so used to being tortured, and so used to pain, that he didn't black out. So he was screaming. That's when they gave him an injection, because they didn't want other people to hear his screams. When he told me that story, it's just amazing. And he showed me the scars. And the scars on his belly, they didn't look like the scars that people have here when they're operated on. I've seen scars, I have some myself. And you know what a scar looks like. I don't know what they did, what they used to open up his stomach, but it wasn't a surgical instrument. So these people, these poor souls who survive burning themselves, are taken to these hospitals, and it's unimaginable what they go through there. So their suffering doesn't end there, the suffering continues. And at another level, the Chinese have started extending the punishment to the families of the self-immolators, or to the monasteries. If it's a monk or a nun, that monastery is shut down, the abbot's thrown in jail, the other monks are disrobed, sent home to the villages or whatever. The family of the self-immolator, they're punished, taken into jail, just like the Nazis did. So we know what's going on in there. And if we normal people know it, then our politicians definitely know it. They have a lot more details than we have. They're in connection with the Chinese government, so they know everything. So we have to think about the poor souls that died, and also keep thinking about those who, if you can call it, survived. because their suffering hasn't stopped. So another 4 kilometers and then that'll be the end for today. Check out the internet, Tibet self-immolations, and do what you can to shine a healthy light on this subject. Cheers.